guys, it's ASBYT and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have another comparison between the Honor 10 and the OnePlus 6, but this time we are focusing solely on camera performance. We're going to give you all the information that you need in order to make the best purchase decision if you are indeed looking to buy one or the other for the camera. So let's get straight to it. Right, so welcome back to a brand new video. Like I said, we're talking Honor 10, OnePlus 6, we're talking camera. Which is the best camera? That's what you want to know. That's what you've been asking for between the two phones. So first of all, I'm just going to refresh the specs for you of that camera. So on the Honor 10, we have a 16 megapixel and a 24 megapixel, both at f1.8 aperture. Whereas on the OnePlus 6, we've got a 16 megapixel and a 20 megapixel, both at f1.7. One of the main standout features on the Honor 10, which the OnePlus 6 doesn't have, is the AI feature. And again, we'll talk in more detail of what that brings you, the positives and the negatives. There are also features on the OnePlus 6 which we'll get to that the Honor 10 doesn't. So I've been testing both of these phones over the last few days using both the rear cameras and the front-facing cameras as well. I've been looking at normal photos, portrait mode, front-facing selfies, front-facing selfie portraits, video capabilities as well, including OIS and EIS. Which of the two phones has those and how it performs in comparison to the other one. So let's delve straight on and look at the first of the photos. Right, so first thing to note is that all of the photos I have taken are set on automatic mode, and that is not because the pro modes aren't good to use. It's simply because I wanted this to be a review for the everyday person who isn't too keen on necessarily professional shots. They just want to see how good the camera is. As soon as they take it out of their pocket, press the snap, see what happens. That's why we're doing it like that. So in the first photo, you are going to notice straight away what I'm talking about in terms of that AI feature. The Honor 10 recognises that the scenery is indeed scenery, plant life, trees, etc. And of course, because it notices that, what it does is it enhances those specific colours. It saturates the green, makes it very vibrant and sticks out. And that's why the Honor 10 photo looks a lot brighter, a lot more saturated than the OnePlus 6 photo, which is more true to life. But if you are into using Instagram and things like that and you want to use filters, you might not necessarily need to on the Honor 10, whereas you possibly might want to on the OnePlus 6. We've got a similar thing in this next photo, but I did actually use the bokeh effect, the portrait mode on both, and you are actually noticing that the OnePlus 6 does a slightly better job at depicting that sort of post in the foreground and blurring out the background. The edges are slightly cleaner than on the Honor 10, but you're getting a more vibrant, saturated photo again on the Honor 10. Now we jump onto a picture of a flower, and it's a similar sort of thing to the last one. We're getting a slightly better portrait shot from the OnePlus 6 in terms of blurring the background, but again, we have that rich, vibrant color from the Honor 10. Now we're on to our first selfie shot of the day, and the first thing you'll notice is the OnePlus 6 actually mirrored the shot, whereas on the Honor 10 it didn't. So that's one thing to note. Neither did a great job with the bright section of the background. They both are blown out, overexposed a little bit. So in terms of HDR, it could be a little bit better on both, but on this occasion the Honor 10 blurs the background slightly better because this shot was actually taken before the update to the portrait mode, which of course you can now do on the OnePlus 6, and here's an example of that working in action. I did put this on Instagram a week or so ago just to show you can actually do this now on the OnePlus 6. In terms of the actual colours, this time the OnePlus 6 actually picks up slightly more green from the grass than the Honor 10 and actually looks a little bit more saturated, surprisingly, in this photo. Now we jump on to our first sort of building shot. We've got a lot of brick in this photo, which again the Honor 10 depicts quite well. It has that rich, vibrant red from that brick. Some may say that the OnePlus 6 looks a little bland by comparison, but again, it's more lifelike. So it swings around about whatever you would prefer necessarily in a photo. If we actually zoom in on this one, you can actually see the Honor 10 does a better job of the fine details. So it's a lot clearer, a lot crisper on that close-up when we zoom in. Now on this next photo, again, if we zoom in, you will see that the OnePlus 6 is actually slightly sharper, and you take a look at the edges of the sign, for example, the lines, the text. Now we jump onto another portrait or bokeh photo where the background is blurred. I have noticed with the Honor 10 and those portrait modes, it isn't as drastic as the OnePlus 6. Some people might actually prefer that. It might look a little bit more natural of a portrait mode and less sort of software based, because the OnePlus 6 is quite hard with that sort of contrast between the clarity of the focal point and the blurring of the background. And of course, due to the AI capabilities, it depicts the flower, it makes it brighter and more saturated, it makes the photo just sort of jump out that little bit more than the OnePlus 6. This is another example of the OnePlus 6 doing a slightly better job when the photo has really bright parts and really dark parts. So the HDR is slightly more efficient on the OnePlus 6, it seems. Contradictory to this, in this photo, the flags, the brick, the sky, it all seems that little bit sharper and with better clarity on the Honor 10 than the OnePlus 6. And this actually surprised me because it seemed to be a few of the times it was the other way. Definitely in this photo, I think the Honor 10 does a better job at bringing all the different parts of the photo together using that HDR. And the actual detail in the clouds and the sky, and also on the flags and the brick, are just that little bit better on the Honor 10. Another AI feature on the Honor 10 is to depict animals as well as humans and flowers and all that sort of stuff. In this case, we've got a dog, and again, it just looks that little bit sharper, a little bit more pleasing on the eye. The detail on the dog's face, for example, just jumps out that little bit more than on the OnePlus 6, and that's due to that AI feature. Both do a pretty similar job on this photo of these two coffees. Now we have our second selfie, and on this occasion we also have a beautify mode on the Honor 10, which I personally don't like at all. I did try it, and I just think it makes the face just ridiculously soft and not a great photo, to be honest. But if you've got a lot of blemishes, you may choose to enjoy using that mode. It is an option, it is a mode nevertheless. So in this occasion, the Honor 10 looks better with the blur background, but of course you can do that on the OnePlus 6 as well. So, and having tested the OnePlus 6 using that, they are fairly even between the two. And finally, just to pretty much sum up what we've talked about, that AI capabilities comes in again here. It depicts the orange on the Honor 10 and makes it much more bright and vibrant and saturated than on the OnePlus 6. And that's pretty much across the board where we sit on the two cameras. The Honor 10 generally has more punchy, vibrant and saturated photos. The OnePlus 6's photos are usually more true to life. The HDR capabilities of both are actually fairly similar because on some of them, the OnePlus 6 did a better job, and in others, the Honor 10 did a better job. So it is quite hard to pick between the two. Now we're going to jump on to video camera capabilities, and that is where, in my opinion, the OnePlus 6 does actually jump out over the Honor 10, mainly due to the stabilization. The OnePlus 6 has OIS and EIS, but actually on that video camera, the EIS does actually tend to work that little bit better than the OIS. So the 4K at 30 frames a second seems a bit smoother than the 4K at 60, and the OIS is only available in the 4K at 60, whereas the EIS is at the 4K at 30. The Honor 10 doesn't have any stabilization, and that is where, like I said, I feel the OnePlus 6 does a better job. Right, so that's pretty much it. This is where you guys come in. I want to know from what you've seen so far in this video, which of the two cameras performs the best? And I want to know examples as well. So is it the normal camera? Is it the portrait mode? Is it the video camera capabilities? Is it the front-facing selfies, etc. for you selfie lovers? Which is the deal breaker? And will it see you sway and buy one of them over the other? Have you bought one of them over the other already, and how are you getting on with it? Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts as always. I will be sifting through all of the comments and questions and try and answer as many as I can. I will have some more comparison videos coming soon between other phones as well. Let me know which phone comparisons you would like to see, both on camera, speed tests, etc. And if you want to see those videos, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you've turned on the notifications if you're new, so that when I post those videos you'll be notified. Like and share if you did enjoy this video and found it helpful. Dislike this video if you didn't like it and you didn't find it helpful. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. ASBYT, peace out.